actually is. I've missed you, buddy. Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome to another episode of Driver's Paddock. Today we're at MTech Auto because in less than 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing Canadian Time Attack Challenge and CSCS Racing Time Attack competitions. On the Friday, I'll be driving the MTech G87 M2 in Street Mod class, and on the Sunday, I'll be driving my personal F87 in Super Street class. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on both cars, and I definitely need to shake them down before I full send them. So before we go any further, let's give it an OCD detail. Let's go. So first off, shout out to my detailer, OCD Detail 6. Check him out on Instagram. If you're in the GTA, he is absolutely amazing. Check him out. Second, thank you to Thomas Leung from TL Imaging. Check him out on Instagram as well for filming that amazing detail. He is really good. He does all things photography and videography. So today in the shop, there are a bunch of cars getting ready for Time Attack, and this weather is finally good, and so everyone is in a rush to get their cars ready. There's 3 M2 competitions here, all Time Attack builds, and we have a GT4 next to me, amongst other cars. So let's go see what needs to be done to my car to get it race ready. First of all, we're going to do all the fluids. We're going to do differential fluid. We're going to flush the transmission as well. We're going to run the adaptation on the DCT. Then we're going to do engine oil as well as brake fluid. Next, we need to change out the front rotors and front pads. This year, we're going to try the MA45B endless pad, which hopefully will give me a little bit more modulation. It has less initial bite than the MS35 and the N35S that I typically run, but I think with a little bit more modulation and left foot braking, I'll be able to go faster and manage the front end a little bit better. Next, we are going to change the ride height slightly. I'm going to raise the rear just a little bit to give the car a little bit of rake, to give it a little bit more front end bite, because for the first time, I'm going to be trying a staggered setup. I'm going to be running 275 in the front and 295s in the rear. And the reason for that is last year I felt like what was really slowing me down is those corner exits. I had to be pretty patient on the throttle, and personally with my driving style, I have no issues rotating the car even on entry if I want, and I feel like my right foot is pretty well connected to the rear axle, and as such, if I have a little bit more rear tire, a little bit more rear rubber, I feel like I can just put the power down a little bit better, and with better modulation with the MA45B front pads, I feel like I can manage the front end. So there's no way of really knowing if that's fast or not unless I try it. And so that's what this shakedown is for. If I don't like it, we can swap right back to the 275 square, but I'm excited to try out a new setup. Also, I may play around with the rear compression damping a little bit. If I can just, on power, if I can load up the rear just a little bit better, I feel like I can probably exit corners a little bit faster and get on the throttle a little bit more aggressively and a little bit earlier. Again, there's only one way to find out, but let's get the work done on this car. Let's go. So the shop now is finishing up not 1, not 2, but 3 M2 competition track builds. And so like I said earlier, I'm running 275 Nankang CRS in the front, and the fitment is damn near perfect there. And in the rear, same thing, we're running 295s this year, and that is just about perfect. So the last thing that this car needs before it's ready and before we send it on track is just an alignment. So we're gonna get the car up on the alignment machine and we'll get it completely set up. We're gonna go close to 4 camber in the front, minus 2.8, minus 3 in the rear. We're gonna slightly toe out the front, and we're gonna toe in the rear a significant amount so to put the power down. But I just want to say shout out to M-Tech Auto. They're in Thornhill. If you're looking to modify, track prep, or maintain your BMW, Porsche, Audi, or any car for that matter, please check them out. They are absolutely amazing. So everybody, we finally made it to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park DDT, and I'm so pumped to finally shake down my M2. Again, in less than 2 weeks, we're going to be time attacking this car at this track. And so in 2023, if you've been following me, you know that I had some motor issues. I actually needed to replace my transmission. I blew the shock at a competition, and I barely drove this car. So I'm super pumped to finally shake it down. Without further ado, let's head out on track. God, forgot how fast this car actually is. I've missed you, buddy. Oh, the suspension is so good. So good.
ladies and gentlemen, the street class record for CSCS in rear-wheel drive is a low 133. It is done by my friend Tim in his Corvette. I just did a 133.39, and I'm just feeling out the car. This car is crazy. I missed you, buddy. Oh my God, that is not my best driving. I'm feeling out the car. I just did a 133.3. Let's go. This car is so dialed in. I need to play with the dampening a little bit. I'm getting some mid-corner understeer, so it's delaying me on power a little bit. So let's figure this out and let's send it, boys. Let's go. This car feels so good.
All right, everybody, we did sort of a 3-lap warm-up, and then I'm doing some instructing today as well. And then I had time to do 4 laps. And so the first 3 laps, I'm just sort of feeling out the car, just remembering what I love so much about this car. It's been so long since I've actually been able to drive it on track. And so I'm feeling it back out again. And it's such a hoot. It is so much fun. It is so fast and responds to all my inputs. And it's so easy to slide as well. And so when I went out the second time, the CSCS street record here, set by Tim in his Corvette, amazing driver, by the way, really nice guy, is a low 133. And in my second session, I was able to do a low 133. And you'll notice that the car actually is understeering in some of the higher speed stuff. And so what I'm doing now, of course with the staggered setup, is that I played around with the damping a little bit. In the rear, I have softened the rebound and I have stiffened the compression. The thing is, on entry, I have no problem sort of managing the front end, getting it in, getting to the apex. But as soon as I sort of roll on the throttle, the car is essentially kind of understeering to the exit. And so what that means is when I'm getting on power, what essentially I'm shifting the weight to the rear tires. And so I stiffened up the compression so I don't shift as much weight into the rear. And I soften the rebound such that if I do shift weight to the rear, it will actually rebound a little bit quicker, shifting more front weight to the front end, hopefully giving me a better exit and less understeer on exit. Alternatively, I could give it a ton of power just to rotate the car and excite it, but I'm trying to do some grip driving to practice and prepare for time attack next week, so I don't think that is a good option when we're considering lap time. So let's go back out. I just played around with tire pressures a little bit as well, and so we'll see how it goes. Let's head back out on track.
1:32.28. As far as I know, that is the fastest M2 competition that's not on slicks. Shout out to Danny, my friend, who has the unlimited build. That is definitely the street class CSCS record. Shout out to Tim. I know he's gonna go even faster. Tim, if you're watching this, Tim, and all the guys in Super Street, let's have a good time at CSCS. Let's push each other. I can't wait for next Sunday. There's a few things I want to change about the car. I'm gonna see if I can fit a 295 in the front. I think I need a little bit more front end grip because yeah, I'm a little bit delayed on the on turn 1, turn 2. I just want to be able to get on the power a little bit earlier. But man, is the car dialed in.